we just reflect briefly on Sunday, moments like that do prove to be significant in the season. We saw your face, the emotion, the celebrations at the end. How big did it feel when you got home on Sunday evening and maybe sat down and had a moment with a glass of something in your hand?
Yeah, as I said, straight after the game, has been a good feeling for different reasons. First of all, because the initial picture was not the perfect one for us, 2-0 down after 10 minutes. And then because it's a derby for the fans, and also because in terms of points, 3 points, they were so important in that moment. So the reason why we were so happy is for many reasons.
And I know that you personally don't want to get carried away with talking titles and being in the race, but you have been part of setups that have done it. So at what point will you allow yourself, or do you change the narrative?
The good thing is that I like to think on the day by day. So in which moment something can change, I don't know. The main focus for me is and it's not something that I say because I have to say that. It's because I really think that. Because it's the only way to improve me and to improve the players. It's just focus on what we can do better. In terms of training session, improve players and improve the team. This is the only main focus for me. And then in which moment we can think in something different, I don't know.
I mean, you've been part of sides that have gone on to win titles. Do you remember those moments when you're going day to day and then suddenly you think, yeah, this is on?
Yeah, absolutely. You can smell that, you can feel that, and probably this is the reason why I said we are not ready, because we don't feel that and we don't smell that in this moment. As I said, hopefully soon we can be there, but in this moment, this is one of the reasons why I think we are not there. And also because I like to convince myself and convince the player that the only way to fight for something or to compete for something is just to be focused on the day by day. Because when you start to think about in 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, 2 months, it's the beginning of the bad time. You know.
And can you just confirm whether or not Mark Goalkeeper did throw those boots away?
I saw the picture. They sent me. They sent me the picture. Seriously, I did, because after the game, I had a chat with the players, a speech with the players, and then straight with you for the press conference. And then after the game, on the way back to Kobamir, they showed me the picture from Mark. But he said to me straight after the game that he was just trying to give more emotion to the game, no more than that.
Best place for them, yeah?
Exactly.
And I just wonder how many people, I mean, you did it yourself, you threw in a bit of a slide gag in your post-match. I wonder how much grief he's been getting this week. Has he been slid into a few times?
No.
We know you're pranksters, you're all pranksters, and players can't wait to take the mickey.
Jokes with Mark about what happened.
You said it yourself. You said like if they slip up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, straight after game, I took one of the no football shoes, normal shoes, and I said, guys, this was the Mark shoes. So it was because of the final result after the game was quite a funny moment. But I think the first one that he knew that he was wrong is Mark. But sometimes can happen.
The other highlight from the game was undoubtedly Cole Palmer's penalty. You watch it and you watch it again and you watch it and you go, wow. You get to see that day in, day out. How privileged do you feel that you've got somebody of that level of talent, that you are that close, that you have the opportunity of moulding to be one of the best players in the world? Yeah.
I agree with you. I feel very proud or privileged, to work with the Cole. I feel quite lucky, to be honest, to work with all of them, because for sure Cole is different one from the rest. But here we have many good players where a manager, in this case me, I feel happy and I feel proud to work with them.
I mean, you've clearly worked with a lot of very, very talented players, but I think what's so fascinating about Cole is the other side of him. This personality that just seems so different, so ice cold, so unflustered.
Yeah, but if you see many big players, many top players, they are in that way. You know, they look almost that they don't care about nothing. But then at the end it's because they are in that way. But for sure they care, and probably being in that way give them more, I don't know, freedom or relax. And you can see Cole exactly in the same way. I said he was exactly in this way 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and he's still the same.
And with a lot of young players in this country, there's always that fear that they can be lured by showbiz lifestyles. I'm guessing that he's exactly the sort of player you won't have to work too hard to keep his, we say, feet on.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to waste energy to convince him that he has to behave in different way, because he's exactly behaving the way that they need to behave. Just focus on football, focus on the important thing, and the most important thing, he loves football. I said that every time we start the session, he's one of the first out, start to play with the ball, and you can see in that moment the one that they really love football and the ones that they just play football.
Yeah, he's living the dream, isn't he? Just a couple for me on Enzo, and particularly because, you know, we talked a lot, and a lot of the talk has been one team, the other team, is this one in that one or not in that one, and how good an example is he of what you've tried to get out of this current crop of players in terms of, you know, 3 goals in his last 4 Premier League games. He seems to have really kind of matured, taken on board. How good is he an example of what you're trying to achieve with this current group of players? We all know they're talented and worth lots of money, but when he puts in performances like that compared to maybe what he was doing at the beginning of the season?
It's a very good example. Him, Noni is the same, but I said already that even when they were not playing, they were doing the right things. But it was my decision to leave them out, and the reason why was not because they were training bad or the behavior was not the right one. It was a simple technical decision. Probably sometimes when you leave out players, you hurt them, you motivate them probably to give something extra. But Enzo can be the good example for the rest. But as I said, we have more players that in some moment they were out, and then when they play, they did very well.
And just finally, it is on Sunday evening, Thomas Frank that you come up against, somebody who's, you know, had a really interesting career. He came to football management quite late, done a very, very good job at Brentford. Very ambitious, but hasn't taken that step maybe to a big club. You've clearly done that in the last little while. How have you found that compared to sort of being day-to-day at a club like Brentford? And I don't know if you know Thomas or how much your paths across, but seeing whether or not he would kind of move in that way, and seeing him at a club of this size one day.
No, I don't know him personally. I know him and I know his team for many years already, and he's doing great job, fantastic job. The way they achieve points, the way they play, the different style they have is top, is fantastic. And in terms of move or change club, this is more a question for him. The only thing I can say is that they play fantastic football. The good thing is that they play in different way, in different style, so it's difficult. And in the same time, I said straight after Tottenham game that we need our fans for Sunday game. We need them behind us because I have the feeling that will be a very tough game, and game that can be decided for tiny details. So we need to pay attention.
Thank you, Gail. Soraya?
Hello. So Sancho, 2 goals in 2 games. He said he's finally taking shots and he's practicing hitting the corner in training. You, though, specifically spoke about his work off the ball and his sacrifice. Can you talk to me a bit more about not just Jadon's, but the expectations that you have on your wingers off the ball and why it's so important for how you play in your identity as a team?
Jadon, since we started, is doing well. Probably it was lacking of finish because we had many games where he was, I don't know, remember Nottingham, many different games where he arrived many times 1v1. And he's always looking for assist. That is something good. But sometimes also you are in a position where you can take shot, and now he's doing better. If you see a little bit us from the right winger with the Noni and Pedro, from the right pocket with Cole, the number 9 with Cristo and Nico, since we start, we score goal. Probably in the left side with the left pocket and left winger, we struggle a little bit, but in this moment we start also with Enzo and Jadon. So the 5 attacking players, we need goals and assists from them. They are all doing the same. And then off the ball, the way they work, Pedro, Non in one side, Jadon, Misha in the other side, it's simple that when we don't have the ball, they have to run. It's no more than that, because you cannot only play football when we have the ball. You have to play football when we don't have the ball. So we ask them, we require sacrifice, and we hard work.
You always highlight how important it is to maintain high levels in training. You know the squad's competitive, everyone wants to play. I think Noni, Neto, Enzo, Sancho, they're proof of this. They've been training hard and it's been paying off. When it comes to Sanchez and Jurgensen, is there space for Jurgensen to challenge for the number 1 spot, or is the goalkeeper position a little bit different to the rest of the squad? You don't want to change it too much.
No, the idea is no, for sure the idea is not to change, but also in that case, we have 2 keepers. They are both good, and until they maintain both the same level, we are happy with that.
We saw Nico Jackson look a little bit sad when he was subbed, and after the match you ran up to him, it looked like he was giving him some encouragement. How important is it now that these young players are reaching these new levels, that they're actually feeling the pain and they care to deliver, and they know, right, I can do better than that?
Yeah. No, first of all, Nico was upset, sad, because he didn't score. But for me, Nico did, and this is something that it's important that you highlight, you say?
Yeah.
Nico did the most important thing in the game against Tottenham. That is when we scored the 2-2 with Cole. Everyone was celebrating the goal with Cole, and there was only one player go for the ball and bring the ball quick to the middle to start again. That was Nico. And this showed the desire of Nico to win the game. 10 players celebrating the goal, only one take the ball and bring the ball to the halfway line. Exactly. That show how Nico is there with desire to win the game. And for me, in terms of moment, probably that moment is the most important moment of the game.
That leads to my next question, because when Enzo scored, Nico actually stopped him from taking his shirt off to stop him getting the yellow. And I think those little details sometimes you forget in a game. You have a few players, 2 players that are 1 card away from being suspended. Neto's not available against Brentford. Do you discuss these little details with the players regarding picking up unnecessary cards, or is it something you just expect them to learn as their on-pitch behaviour?
No, they have to learn for sure. Some yellow card we deserve, some of them we didn't deserve. Someone is because we do something wrong. But for sure, if we can avoid yellow card, is much better. And Enzo Nico is a good example, as you said.
Brentford this season, they've caused a lot of big problems to a lot of big teams. They seem to have a bit more attacking flair. What have you thought about them tactically, looking ahead to Sunday, in terms of how they could probably threaten this Chelsea team?
The good thing about them is that they can play in different style. They don't have just one way to play. They can play back 4, they can play back 5, they can play back 4, making back 5 with one of the wingers. So it's quite complicated, but we're going to try to do our best.
And 15 games in, we've seen you do a little dance at the end of matches and cheers with the fans. They're chanting your name. The relationship's organically growing with Chelsea fans through the results. You've highlighted, though, that Brentford's difficult and you need your fans home and away. So can you say a little message to the fans in your journey so far, and what you're looking forward to on Sunday?
Oh yeah, first of all, my kids ask me, don't dance anymore, please. So this is quite clear. Yeah. And then we need our fans on Sunday game, because it will be a tough game. They are a very good team. They know each other from many years already, so they know exactly the game that they are going to play. And as I said, the game will be decided for tiny details, and we need, until the final whistle, our fans behind us, pushing us, because it's that game that we need one more players, like 12 players, to try to beat them.